Scott Piercy's long and winding road to the PGA Tour really is a rags to riches tale. Piercy went from a guy $25,000 in debt to a multi-millionaire literally overnight. All this before becoming a mainstay on the PGA Tour. The two-time tour winner sat down with our Tim Rosafort.
Yes, it was not easy, but boy, is it ever sweet.
And Scott Piercy has won the National Championship of Canada.
So, Scott, we're in a locker room at East Lake, and you're the 30th player to qualify for that field. And a lot of what we were talking about was being recognized, being accepted, having a comfort level among the guys who had played that well to qualify. Do you feel like now, after going through that, you feel like you belong?
Definitely, you know, a lot of the, the bigger name guys, the marquee guys, I'm going to say, I think are showing me a little more respect, kind of, hey, how are you? Good to see you, good playing. Just kind of showing me just a little more attention, or I guess is a good word for it. But yeah, I think I've earned a little bit of respect.
Just 6 years ago, the respect was hard to come by. With $5,000 in the bank and $25,000 in debt, Scott Piercy turned his life and career around by winning $2 million in the 2007 Ultimate Challenge.
What are you going to do with it?
It was a big break in my career, and for me at the time, it didn't only help money-wise, but it helped in other ways. Like I was actually playing hurt at the time, just wear and tear of not getting time off from having to practice. The money allowed me to take a break and refresh my mind, refresh my body. I guess later that year, about 4 or 5 months later, I got through Q school for the first time in like 7 tries or something. So it was definitely kind of a turning point for me.
You had quite a ride through that period of your career, traveling to many tours all over the country. I remember you told me you Google mapped golf courses on the web.com tour to see what the courses looked like before you qualified on them.
Yeah, that was looking back, it was so crazy to see it, but we would Google map golf courses so that we at least knew runouts and how far you could hit it. And I think it was the 3rd week that I actually got a practice round in. I think I won for the first time, and that took a lot of pressure off. I definitely, started from the bottom and worked my way up.
So you're traveling around the country then in this pickup truck. I'm interested to know, how did you store all your stuff? Did you just throw it in the back of the truck and keep rolling?
I did. I had a, I guess not a camper shell, but just a flat thing that locked on the back, and we'd throw our stuff in the back and drive to the hotel and go to the next hotel and go to the next golf course. And it was fun times, but it was tough.
Piercy's career turned around with the instruction of Matt Kuchar's one-plane swing, Chris O'Connell. Ranked 142nd on the money list, Piercy won the 2011 Reno Tahoe Open with a clutch par putt on the finishing hole, then followed up a year later with a one-stroke victory at the RBC Canadian Open. The guy that was up to his head covers in debt was now averaging 6 figures every time he teed it up, and was exempt in all the majors. You're a very low-key guy. When you get a golf club in your hands, you're a very confident guy.
Yeah, you have to be. Every guy on tour has to have some self-belief. I think a lot of people look at me like they think I'm cocky or something, but I really don't feel that way. I just have a lot of belief in my abilities and myself, and you have to. It's if you don't have the belief to be good enough to be out here, you might as well go home, I think.
What Piercy cherishes most are his moments at home in Las Vegas with wife Sarah and his sons Cole, 15, Brennan, 10, and Jet, 3. He lives in a city where he grew up playing sweeper for 2 state championship teams, and is now playing soccer dad the way his father once did.
Family's first, and I have a great family. It's what do you do without them? That's what keeps you grounded. That's what keeps you normal, sort of say. I got a great story. I always set up the night before I leave. I said, hey, Daddy's got to go out of town. So I give my 3-year-old a hug. I said, I got to leave in about half an hour. He jumps down from his computer chair and he says, one more big hug, Dad. And he gives me a big hug, and as he's giving me a big hug, he says, go win that trophy, Dad.